My dear students of class 12, I hope that all of you are very well, and also hope that your study is going very well with equal pace and speed. Anyway, I was discussing in my previous classes various questions and answers regarding the text "The eyes have it," and during that question answer classes I have discussed so many questions along with their answers. Today I will also discuss various questions and various answers so that you can write yourself the answers as well as you can practice from my video clip and equip yourself well for the coming exam. Anyway, I told you about the importance of the title "The Eyes Have It." Have you guessed something about it? Or have you got any clue about it? If you got a clue, or if you have thought something about the title I am discussing now, and then compare your thought, and you can make a synchronization with these two ideas, then can write up your answers. Actually, the eyes have it. The narrator or the author's point of view is that when you have the eyes, you have no excuse to make any kind of hide and seek game or any kind of game of guessing. The eyes have the power to perceive everything, and therefore there is no necessity for making any guess or for making any deception. The story is about the deception of the narrator as well as his girl co-passenger. Both of them deceives each other, but if they have the eyes, if they had the eyes, they could perceive the deceptions from the part of the other, and therefore the title may be an amused, ironical one. My dear students, after the title may be interpreted in another way, as they have not their physical eyes. Both of them used their intuitive and imaginative power so that they could hide their own faults to each other, and therefore the eyes may have referred to their eyes of imagination, with the help of which they could guess the surrounding scenario, they could please each other. Anyway, after that, I have already pointed out the important lines and important passages, and also have given you the answers. Now I am giving you another line. While it often happens that people with good eyesight fail to see what is right in front of them. While it often happens that people with good eyesight fail to see what is right in front of them. Who is the speaker? Or why does the speaker say so? Or what is the context? That the narrator is the speaker. The narrator says this. When does the speaker say so? When the girl passenger became startled and exclaimed that she did not know that anyone else there was anyone else. The narrator remarked that. He remarked that sometimes and oftentimes people with good eyesight fails to see what is actually in front of them. The author or the narrator gives the explanation by saying that they have too much to take in, and therefore, as they have so much things to take in, they have to take care of them also. But the blind persons who cannot see or who sees very little have to take only the very necessary items or very essentials, and therefore they can pay their attention upon the other things and the surrounding scenario. Another line and question. My dear students, I am reading another line and will tell you the questions and then supply the answers. That always happens, she said. Do you see any animals? That always happens, she said. Do you see any animals? In which context does the speaker say so? In which context does the speaker say so? What does the addressee or what does the person spoken to reply in this text? What does the addressee or what does the person spoken to reply in this context? That always happen, she said. When does the speaker say so? When the narrator, the blind narrator, ventured to pretend that he was saying outside the window of the train and replied that The trees seem to be moving outside the window while they seem to be standing still. Hearing that remark, the girl co-passenger, who was equally blind, the girl co-passenger said so. Her answer is very prosaic one. That always happens. Her answer is very prosaic and rational one. She was not at all surprised or mesmerized by that answer. She prosaically said, that always happens. Do you see any animals? On reply of this question from the part of the lady passenger or the girl co-passenger, the narrator said that no. And he said this negative answer quite confidently because he knew that there had been hardly any animals left in the forests near Dera. And while the train was approaching to Dera, the narrator knew that there would be almost few animals or no animals. And therefore, he confidently answered that no. My dear students, now I am reading a line from the ending portion of the text and will supply you the answers. Can you tell me, did she keep her hair long or short? Can you tell me, did she keep her hair long or short? Who says this? To whom? What does the person spoken to answer ultimately? Who says this? To whom? What does the person spoken to ultimately reply? Can you tell me, did she keep her hair long or short? The blind narrator said this about the girl passenger who had just got down from the train at Ruhana. And at that station, a new passenger got into the train. Being informed that, or being alarmed that there was a co-passenger, a male co-passenger, the narrator said that she was an interesting girl and asked a question regarding the girl co-passenger who has accompanied him till this station. And therefore he asked the question, can you tell me, did she keep her hair long or short? In reply, the male new passenger said that he didn't remember at all. Only he could remember her eyes. Her eyes were beautiful but were of no use. She was blind. But he didn't notice her hair at all. And after that, the new male passenger threw an embarrassing question to the narrator. Didn't you notice? And like a short story, it ended quite abruptly, leaving an effect upon our readers. Thank you.